Okay, so as Jane said, the Logic Virtual Network has switched technologies. We are moving from Citrix to VMware Horizon. And just to kind of go back over some of those things, VMware offers two different ways to get you the software. Streaming applications, which is similar to how Citrix works. When you launch ArcMap and ArcCatalog now from the Logic Citrix network, it looks and behaves as an app on your machine. The advantage to Horizon is that now we can introduce virtual desktops as well, which gives us and you the added benefit of dedicated resources. So if you are really doing a resource-intensive process, then you're not affecting other users or slowing your processes down. You get those dedicated resources. The other thing to note is that the new Logic Virtual Network, being VMware Horizon, is not accessed through the browser like it used to be. With Citrix, as you know, you would go to the Logic Citrix page, log in, launch the application, and then that's where the Citrix client would take over and launch the application on your desktop. In this scenario, we will be installing the Horizon client on the machines for all the users. Well, we won't be doing it, but we will be working with your various IT departments to do that. Special note, MSD, you all already have the clients installed. That was a push from the desktop engineers and IT department. Again, we're working with Metro and Andrew to get those users in phase 1 installed, and we'll be working on the others as needed. So what does it look like? So down, you'll have the client installed, and in my case, I have the client pinned to the taskbar. So I'll go ahead and launch that, and it looks like this. When you first launch this, you won't have any servers here to connect to, so you'll need to add the new server, which will be horizon.louisvillemsd.org, and then click connect, and that'll bring you back here. So once you have this, there's a possibility of having multiple servers. So if, you know, Metro, you guys ever switch over to Horizon, you could have one client, and then you could have an MSD/Logic server. You could also have a Metro server. So that's kind of nice to have. But for our server is horizon.louisvillemsd.org. So you'll double click that, and then you get a login prompt. So these credentials will be the same as what you use for Citrix. So log in. Then I will get a presentation of applications and desktops. So not everybody's will look like this. Again, for the phase 1 users, you will be using the streaming applications, and again, it's very, very similar to how Citrix works now. So you will have icons looking like this ArcCatalog icon, this ArcMap icon. You will have your change database password icon, and then some Internet Explorer links to Dev Summit and user conference videos. So once you get here and you're ready to launch your MXD, or I know some people launch Catalog, you could launch both of these at the same time if you would like. So I'll double click Catalog. And it's loading, but the splash screen is on my other screen. So it loads fairly quickly. I would say that it is faster than Citrix, so some of you might welcome that. And you know, similar to how you had it before, ArcCatalog works the same way as Citrix. You can navigate just as you would to any of your data, preferably not the C drive there, but your H drive, go into some folders, launch your MXDs, manipulate your data, whatever you need to do. Jane, are we going to have folder connections like we do in Citrix? I can't remember. Are we going to have those set up for them? Or will the users need to make
they'll
those
automatically
connections?
come over, but we'll have instructions on how to do it.
Okay. Sorry, just a thought that popped into my head there. Okay, so I minimize that, and I'm going to go and launch ArcMap Basic. We are at the dev tier, as we said before, so as we move through the tiers, I assume production would have a prod behind this, or maybe nothing at all. I don't think we've decided on that yet, but it would be ArcMap Basic, prod, or just ArcMap Basic. So let's go ahead and launch that. Once again, the splash screen is on my other screen, so we'll wait for it to launch. Okay, so again, it launches just as you would expect in Citrix. I want to point out that the Horizon Client application is still open. If you click disconnect from here, it will disconnect your ArcMap session or your catalog session, but you can close this. And what that does is it minimizes it to the taskbar on your main screen. I'm not sharing my main screen, so it's hard to illustrate that, but it is still open. And if you can't find it, you can just click on this again and it will pop back. ArcMap works just as it did before. Add data, make a cool map, share it, export it, whatever you like. Geocoding. So Jane touched on this. I want to just bring up the geocoding toolbar. It is up there. Where is it? I don't see it. Let's try again. Oh, here it is. Okay. So as Jane mentioned, we have preloaded the locators. We are no longer using file-based locators on the iDrive. We are using geocoding services, and we've pre-configured those for you. We've chosen these three to start off with, and of course you have the Esri ArcGIS World geocoding service available too if you want to geocode outside the Oldham, Jefferson, and Bullitt County boundaries. So that's there. Should make that easier for you guys. Hopefully it's easier. So okay, so you're finished doing whatever you're doing in ArcMap. Okay, what do I do now? How do I get out of this? Well, you could just simply close it if you don't need to save it. This will close the application, so you would have to close ArcMap and ArcCatalog. Jane mentioned that if you open this is if you open your MXD, this is 10.6.1. This is the version 10.6.1. And if you need to share this MXD with users, specifically phase 2 and phase 3 users, and there's no way for you to know that unless you just happen to know, maybe steering committee people know, you would need to save this as an older version, 10.2.1. So how do I do that? It's really simple. I just learned this today. I've never had to do this, but I looked it up real quick. Just save a copy and navigate to where you're going to save it. And down here is save as type. You can save as 10.2.1, 10.1 and 10.2.1 documents. And then that way it's backwards compatible. If you don't need to share it, you can save it as a 10.1 or 10.6.1 as you normally save, or save as, and put it where you need to. And then you can close your ArcMap document. I'm going to hit no. Okay, so when you close that, it helps us if you disconnect from the client if you're completely finished. If you're not, that's fine. Just leave it up and running. Not a huge deal, but It just makes things a lot cleaner if you click the disconnect button here and go ahead. I got that warning message because I still had Arc Catalog open. So there we go. We have disconnected from the server altogether, and then you can close the client as you finish. Maybe, I think my PC froze up. So I just want to reinforce the saving the ArcMap documents. Again, I'm just going to touch on that one more time. If you're in the Logic Virtual Network, the new Horizon client, and you're using ArcGIS or ArcGIS Desktop 10.6.1, and you need to share it, you need to save it as ArcMap as a 10.2.1 MXD. So I can't stress that enough. That will cause problems if you don't do that. Are there any questions so far?
Yeah, we have a question in the chat. Issues.
Okay, good question. No, not that we have seen. You should be able to use your VPN if you're Metro and you're using Cisco AnyConnect. I believe that's what you all are still using. You should be able to log into your desktops and launch the Horizon applications from your desktops there. I know MSD folks have used Horizon, and that's how we are allowing remote access now. They have logged into Horizon and actually launched another Horizon client on their desktop. So we know that works. Is it great? No, but it works.
Yeah, that's definitely something, Andrew, maybe you want to test out, so make sure Metro users are covered with that. Okay.
Before I end this, Jane, I'd like to just briefly touch on the desktops, if I can. Do we have time?
Well, we're over by 6 minutes, but you know, whatever.
All right, well, I'll just say real quick. So I'll just show them really quickly. If you are a phase 2 or phase 3 user, you will see these desktop presentations in, or maybe in addition to the streaming applications. Just real quick, let me launch that and show you what it looks like. It looks like a remote desktop session if you've ever seen one. You will know it is a Logic Virtual Network desktop because of the we have spent more time than we would like to admit on this wallpaper.
Yeah, and when you see it, you'll think, really?
Yeah. Yes, it's drab gray with a Logic logo, but we had complications with Horizon and just making wallpapers work. So, okay, so it's logging in. It takes a little longer. So you'll see it looks like a new desktop, and you have ArcMap, you have Arc Catalog, just as you would. Jane mentioned this before. You have Excel, you have Adobe Reader. Treat this as a desktop. So we want you to work in this environment and keep all of your Logic stuff contained here if you can. It works faster that way. If you're saving stuff locally or on your network, so like on the Metro networks or PVA networks and that kind of thing, it does complicate things. You can do it, but it just works easier if you save everything here on the Logic side. And then I don't see. I thought I opened the ArcGIS Pro desktop. Yeah, so ArcGIS Pro is on there as well. And again, these are dedicated resources, so you can do whatever you want. You want to do 3D, go for it. It's not going to bring the system down. It's not going to affect other users. So I'm not tempting or daring you to bring it down, but it should handle it. And then again, to get out of here, this is similar to a remote desktop connection. Sorry, the presentation menu is up there. There's a menu up here for Horizon that will allow you to disconnect, or you can do it similar to how you would log out of Windows. You can go down here and click sign out, and it will get you back to this page or to this client. All right, Jane, take it away. That's all for me, unless there are any other questions.
Well, if you do have any other questions, please don't hesitate to call me or Jess or email us. We want to make sure that everybody is informed and comfortable doing this. So we've been working hard trying to understand how you use Citrix right now, and we'll be happy, more than happy, to talk to anybody about this in detail. So don't hesitate to give us a call.